The Rangers defeat the Washington Capitals 5-2, and they have now reached the 100-point mark in back-to-back seasons, now having 101 points with 5 games left. And credit definitely goes to Gerard Gallant for that. Look, this is a Ranger team that, was a non-playoff team for, 4 seasons? I still include the 2020 season as a non-playoff season, although close in 2020 and 2021. I mean, you kind of group 18 and 19 in different ways than 20 and 21. Still, though, to go from that, and not only to go from that and to maybe, reach the playoffs, but to be one of the strongest teams in the league 2 seasons in a row, that's definitely a good thing. So definitely wanted to take time to talk about that. And it's not just, barely getting over 100. It's clearing it by a pretty wide margin. And last year, the Rangers finished with, I believe it was less than 110. Last year, the Rangers finished with 100. Oh, no, it was 110 exactly. It was exactly 110 points. It really could have been more, honestly. They kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit at the end. And here you could almost say the same thing. So, this year, again, they're probably going to end up with maybe not quite that much. They would have to go on a nice little roll here, but something close to it. And, it's been a little bit more of a streaky team this year. Last year, very consistent the whole way. A little bit more streaky this year, but, the highs have been really high. And today was better. Today was a lot better against a Washington Capital team that, is not going to make the playoffs for the first time. And they had an 8-season streak of making the playoffs. Last year they didn't make it was, I believe, the 2014 season. And, but still, the Capitals, still a good team. You look at their roster, it's still pretty good. A couple of solid players right out of the lineup, including TJ Oshie, who wasn't in there. But, Washington, they've been somewhat competitive lately. But the Rangers go in there and they play well. And the first period was a good one. I think the first 10 minutes, a little bit slow. Wasn't necessarily terribly defensively, but the offense wasn't quite there. But then they got going. And just, to me, you look at this game, the kid line was the story. And they've been very good lately. And, you get a really, really nice goal by Alexis Lafreniere. Very reminiscent to the goal he had last year versus Detroit. Maybe not quite as good, but it was very similar. It was, if that hadn't happened, I think, if the Detroit goal hadn't happened last year, this might have been seen as like the Lafreniere goal, but an amazing move. Kakko scores, and he could have had more than one, honestly. Filipino, continues to really drive that line with his speed, and I thought he played well. And then, some other good contributions as well. I thought Keandre Miller was good. I thought the Miller-Trouba pair in particular had a pretty strong game. And you get, a big goal by Vlad Tarasenko in the third, off a nice shot, and it's good to see him scoring goals. He's got a great wrist shot, and that's really his moneymaker more than anything. And then look, Patrick Kane, I don't love what I see, but we've seen some glimpses on the power play at times, and we saw that again here where he sets up Zibanejad for a goal. So the lines you see now, the fourth line is what it is, right? That's really not going to change basically ever. And today it wasn't great, and I wish that they could chip in a goal here and there. If they don't, it's all right as long as they don't let up goals. And today they did. But again, that's still a very competent fourth line. Of course, the kid line has arguably been their best line lately. I like that Panarin, Trocheck, Tarasenko line. The only one that underwhelms for me is Kreider, Zibanejad, Kane. And look, any line that Kane is on, in my opinion, is going to tend to struggle right now. But also that's not fair because, look, like Kreider, even though the stats are pretty good for Kreider, I think that there's more for him to give. And so I wonder with Kreider, I know he's been kind of dealing with injuries along the way. Could he be holding back for the playoffs? I don't know. That's taking the positive outlook on it. But a lot of good in this game. Ryan Lindgren continues to sit, and I've said I'm okay with that. I think he'll return before the season. Let him rest. This team is a lot better with Ryan Lindgren. Just having Lindgren in there for Ben Harpur alone is a major, major upgrade. Ben Harpur is just not very good. Not very good at all. You notice it. And so, but what was good in this game is that a lot of your depth got more ice time. The kid line got a lot of time, which was good. Harper Steiner got a lot of playing time. So I like how it was spread out pretty evenly. Igor Shesterkin played pretty well. I think he's going to want to have that one goal back by Dylan Strome. He's definitely going to want to have that one back. But other than that, was excellent. Like Shesterkin, really nice game for him. And just a lot of consistency lately for Shesterkin, where it felt like he couldn't, for the longest time, he wasn't really having games where, he was allowing 3 or more goals, it felt like every game. Now, it's the opposite. It seems like it's 2 or less every game. So that's great to see. And props to the Rangers for reaching the 100-point mark. So let's talk about this one. And again, not a whole lot on the line. The Rangers, with this win, they now move 3 points behind the Devils. New Jersey has a game in hand as we speak. I'm recording this before Carolina and the Devils play tonight. And we'll see how that arms race continues for first place in the Metro, and thus who the Rangers will face in the first round. So, first period, like I said, kind of a slow start for the Rangers. Didn't think, the kid line I thought was good the whole way. They were like the one line that was kind of buzzing, but not a whole lot going. But eventually, the Rangers do score at 13-17. It's Keandre Miller scoring his 9th goal of the season from Trocheck and Panarin. A nice play by Trocheck, made some move on the left side, and Kemper kind of messes this up where he kind of leaves a nice sort of rebound opportunity for Miller, who's in the right place, right time to score as a backhand goal. And Keandre Miller, a lot of points for Keandre at even strength because, as we know, he doesn't really get much power play time, but yet the point totals are there. Keandre's got that offense in his game, and so Miller scores his 9th goal of the season. And then 2 minutes later, a little bit more than 2 minutes later, at 15-19, Alexis Lafreniere, just a beautiful move, great goal, I believe around Sandin, and it's a backhand goal. Just, that is what you're hoping for Alexis Lafreniere with the skill. It's his 16th goal of the season from Hedel, and just like that, the Rangers take a 2-0 lead. Then the Rangers get a power play. Trocheck is interfered with by Nicolas Aube-Kubel, but the Ranger power play does not score, and we take a 2-0 lead going to the second, and in the second, a minute in, it's Kakko scoring his 16th goal. So he matches, Lafreniere and Kakko. Seems like all year long in terms of I shouldn't say all year long. Kakko, I guess, had a lead on Lafreniere goals-wise for a while, but now they've seemed to both, be scoring at the same clip. So Kakko scores from Miller and Trouba, so that's Miller's 2nd point of the night. And this was a goal. Nice pass by Keandre in front. Kakko gets, Kakko's been scoring goals near the net, and that's where, you want to go to a little bit more aggressive. And, look, Kakko's got a big frame. He should use it. And the Rangers take a 3-0 lead. Then the penalties start, where there wasn't a whole lot of penalties in the first. There was only one. Penalties start to come. And Kuznetsov hooks Zibanejad at 5:58. And before that power plays out, Adam Fox hooks Tom Wilson at 6:51. And then at 8:04, Jimmy Vesey interferes with Tom Wilson. So Washington has a 5-on-3, but the Rangers penalty kill does a nice job. And for the most part, they did give a power play go to the Devils. That comes to mind, but the PK has been better. And so the Rangers are able to, stay up 3-0. However, after Shesterkin really was playing very well, gives up a bad goal to Dylan Strome. It was a bad angle, should have not scored, but Strome does, the brother of Ryan. Cuts the lead to 3-1. It's his 19th goal of the season from Ovechkin and Carlson. And so just like that, it is a 3-1 game. Then at the end of the second, you have a fight between Matt Irwin and Jimmy Vesey. Wouldn't have saw that coming. There was a couple of instances of fights in this game that you wouldn't have seen. That was one of them. So it's still a rivalry between the Rangers and Capitals for sure. And so that fight happens, and we go to the third. Rangers are up 3-1, and then the Rangers make it 4-1. And so Vlad Tarasenko scores his 17th goal of the season, assisted by Trocheck and Panarin. So a couple of assists by Trocheck and Artemi. And yeah, great shot by Tarasenko. Perfect shot. And it makes it 4-1 Rangers. Just like that. Then this is where there was a bad shift by that fourth line and Harper Schneider. All five kind of deserve blame, where Washington had like 6 hacks in front of the net and eventually score a goal. It's Protas scoring his 4th goal of the season from Carlson and Backstrom. And so that makes it 4-2. And yeah, you just can't have that, especially the fourth line. They know better than for that to happen, but it's certainly a weak goal for the team to allow. And I thought the third period, the Rangers let up a little bit there. Defensively, it wasn't quite as good. And so it's 4-2 right there. Then Connor Sherry interferes with Philip Hedl at 12:15. The Rangers score a power play goal at the end of it. It's Mika Zibanejad scoring his 39th goal of the season from Kane and Panarin. So that's 3 assists for Panarin, all secondary assists, but still. And it was a nice play by Kane, who almost scored previous to that. Makes a nice setup to Zibanejad. Like I said, 39th goal of the season and his 20th goal in the power play. So last year, 26 goals in the power play for Kreider. This year, 20 for Zibanejad. It's just, he's a very important part of that power play. So the Rangers take a 5-2 lead. Then things get a little bit, chippy with Barclay Goodrow and Alex Ovechkin, where, Ovechkin's upset about a hit from Goodrow. Ovechkin follows him around and ends up taking a penalty. He's given a misconduct. It's cross-checking penalty. The Rangers get a power play out of it. But in this also, there's a fight between Tom Wilson and Barclay Goodrow, which was interesting. And then also another unlikely fight, Nico Mikkola and Martin Feravari. So 3 fights in this game, and 2 of them, like, players that you would not expect to drop the gloves. Rangers don't score a power play out of this, and they win 5-2. Again, solid win for the Rangers. Doesn't mean a whole lot in the standings, but it's nice that the Rangers did reach that 100-point mark, like I said, and now next, they will play the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that'll be an interesting game. Again, a game for teams that they know they're making the playoffs. Not a whole lot to gain in the standings, but still, there's enough time. There's still 5 games left in the season, so you can't really exactly pack it in. So that'll be an interesting game to see, for sure. And it'll be the first time that Tampa is visiting MSG since opening night of the season, and what was still really one of the Rangers' best 60-minute efforts of the year. Rangers improved to 45, 21, and 11. A good win for the Rangers, and like I said, with that 5-2 win in DC, they have reached the 100-point mark in back-to-back seasons.